Change is afoot in the Channel. Not only are the numbers of illegal migrants crossing over from northern France skyrocketing, but the attitudes of these so-called refugees have shifted dramatically. Once thankful, now entitled. That's the picture portrayed by a union official who also warns border force staff are faced with rising mob unrest as the weak resources allocated to Britain's effort to contain soaring illegal immigration is tested to the limit. The frightening new revelation comes on the back of a massive increase in the number of illegals floating over to Britain in light vessels. Yesterday, the Foxhole gave a thorough account of the 650-plus migrants who came over during the bank holiday weekend. To put that in perspective, 8,400 made it over throughout the whole of 2020. Numerous eyewitnesses describe French authorities escorting migrants into UK waters where they are safely intercepted by border force. The French currently benefit from a £28 million cheque from the British taxpayer to help fund their pitiful efforts that appear to only assist ruthless people traffickers. The escalation was illustrated by footage released over the weekend of the deck of a large border force vessel, HMC Seeker, chock full of migrants. According to ISU Immigration Union officer, Lucy Moreton, that's just the start of it. Numbers were so high at the weekend it was impossible for officers to perform COVID tests. Migrants had to be taken directly to detention centers and other accommodation to ensure at least a semblance of quarantine was imposed. More worryingly, border force staff are feeling increasingly threatened. There is a risk of unrest from these groups, said Moreton. They are not exhausted, beaten down and glad to be here. They know they are going to be moved into accommodation. They want to be moved into accommodation. If that doesn't happen promptly, they get cross about it. They have to be clothed, but we cannot provide hot food there. They might not have eaten anything. There is a mob mentality that takes over. The vast majority are young males. The families and children are moved clear very quickly. These are groups of people used to acting together to get what they need, and frequently we cannot understand what they are saying to each other. The numbers arriving are phenomenal. Such brazen behavior from migrants when they are at their most vulnerable, being rescued from the potentially perilous channel, has been coming for a while. Napier Barracks in Kent, where many of them are housed, have already been set ablaze by unruly residents. In a separate incident, a wild migrant grabbed a knife and terrorized staff. Meanwhile, lawfaring social justice advocates have sought to get the barracks shut down on the tenuous basis the lodgings are in breach of human rights. With the weather over the Channel improving considerably in recent days, June will be a marker of what is to come over the second half of 2020. At present, the migrant tally is set to exceed 18,000, almost double last year's. But with migrants becoming even more aggressive and intrepid, what are the odds the 20,000 mark will be breached well before 2021 is out?